The nuclear bomb to all of our wallets, that is Double Masters, continues to preview throughout the week. And we've got some very spicy things to share with you today.
Yes, that's right. Dark Confidant is in the left third.
Yeah, it is a weird place for the art to be. The video starts right now. Special thanks to our Patreon supporters who power our channel. Check out our Patreon for monthly giveaways, exclusive content, and even a starring role in our fan fight series. Link in the description below.
Hello and welcome to the day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. We're going to talk about day 2 of Double Masters previews as they are happening. But first, if you like the video by the end of it, consider subscribing. It really helps us out.
Click like, click subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel. If this is the second ever Jake and Joel vid that you've seen, then you have to click subscribe because for some reason you're back. Let's talk about these cards. We've got some really spicy cards.
Oh yeah,
have just been spoiled today.
Starts with Flicker Wisp.
Ooh.
Whee!
Yeah.
This is a spicy one.
It's a great card.
Yeah.
Always known for being, abusive and ETB. If you can flicker this, then
right.
things can get out of hand real quick.
Yeah, it's a cool uncommon. Blade Splicer at rare, it's...
Another thing where if you can flicker this, it's really nice. We just saw Flicker Wisp pairs nicely with Blade Splicer.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think this card has been reprinted into the dirt. There's no value here, really. Yeah. But it is a cool card that keeps coming back. I think they found a design sweet spot. They were like, you know what really works? That card that's a 1/1 for 3 that brings in a 3/3 and gives it first strike as long as it's on the battlefield. And everybody's like, yes, let's reprint Blade Splicer.
These cards like Flicker Wisp and Path to Exile and Eternal Witness, Inquisition of Kozilek, Remand. I don't know if we're going to start to see any of these pop up. We did just see Flicker Wisp, but these are all cards that really help fill out the uncommon slot in a premium set like this. That's why we see them so much. Manamorphos and the list goes on and on. But I would just expect to continue to see some of these kind of reprints pop up. So this is Riss the Redeemed, right?
Yep, we've got a token commander here. 1-cost commander, pretty traditional commander. He's getting a reprint, which means I guess we'll get a foil version as well, printed, but there is no showcase as of yet.
Card here.
But yeah, Stonehewer Giant, big EDH card, 5 for the 4/4 Vigigiant Warrior. Search up those equipments. That's why you run the card, honestly.
And attach it to a creature you control. I mean, it's just like shenanigans.
Yeah.
This card is very slow in a lot of formats, but in EDH it really shines.
Right.
Anybody that runs equipment is going to want Stonehewer Giant. So I'm not entirely surprised to see this card.
No, and honestly, in what
sets.
they've dubbed the Year of Commander, I have noticed as these previews have been coming out that in some of the slots that are essentially bulkish rares, even if it's up to like $3, $1 to $5, in a premium set, a $5 rare is not necessarily a huge hit, and they're using those slots to fill with some EDH staples that might need a reprint. This is Ambush.
Sneak Attack.
Sneak Attack, yeah, sorry.
This is Sneak Attack, one of our mythics here. So that's pretty notable. This is a mythic. Here is the showcase art.
Yeah, showcase art for Sneak Attack.
This is cool.
We've got a big creature in the back sneak attacking these orcs that are making hot dogs, it looks like.
Yes, I wish I knew, and I wonder what the lore is. And if you know, what is that creature back there? Is it something that is commonly snuck in with Sneak Attack? Sometimes they do things like that on these cards.
That would be cool if there's a little Easter egg like that.
Yeah, this is really cool art, though. I like this showcase frame. Sneak Attack is a very specific card. It's played in Legacy. It's not played in a lot of different formats. I'm sure it has some playability in EDH, but it is a very specific card, but it's a really fun card.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Austere Command, here's another one. It's a dope art version of Austere Command. I think I've seen a couple of them, and this one is an EDH staple,
Yeah, it's just versatility. It costs a lot, so it's in more casual decks, but most decks that play white are probably going to play Austere Command in EDH just for the sheer versatility of the card. Right. And this is the Ultimate Masters art, I believe, and it might have been in Iconic Masters as well, but I remember that update is pretty recent.
I love this art. I think it's great. It was the one that went with the blue command as well, where they had the hand with the spirals out from it. Sure. We've got Summoner Sphinx here. If you're not familiar, Summoner Sphinx
from rare to uncommon.
Has been downshifted, and it searches up an artifact creature when it ETBs. So it's another one. For EDH, this could be an excellent fill slot in your deck to go and search up whatever artifact creature you need for whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, this is a great card. I like it. I played in Sharoom back when that deck was put together. I think it's a great card. It's a really, really fun limited card. So anybody who's playing limited, and look at this, another downshift in rarity. This one from Mythic to rare, Voice of Resurgence. This is an excellent card. You will recognize it as the chase card, the best card that came out of Dragon's Maze.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jake, I don't know what the memory is, and it's a very vague memory, but I do have a vague memory of you opening a Voice of Resurgence at some point and being excited that you had opened up a voice.
Yeah, because it was the best. It literally is the best card that came out of that set. And then it was reprinted again in Modern Masters 2017, where the price went down. And also, we talk about this a lot, but we don't have a lot of people that are playing Paper Magic. And what you're looking at here is a very popular modern card.
Right.
You're looking at a card that, if it gets reprinted again, it would be probably very popular in Pioneer. It's one of those cards that helps sell sets, but it's a name. It's like saying Brad Pitt. It's like, oh, Brad Pitt's in that set. It's like, okay, great.
Here's a name. Oh, Noble Hierarch's in that set.
Yeah,
everybody knows the name of a Noble Hierarch, right? And the cool thing about Noble Hierarch,
one of the best. Oh my God, this mana dork is so good.
This version of this mana dork is fantastic. I love how this card looks. I love that we've got the white represented, the green represented. I think that's maybe a pool or a river in front of her. It just looks so cool how they have represented everything in this little card. It's this is one of my favorite showcase ones I've seen so far.
Yeah, this is the first big step away from that art. So this is the first new art I've seen for Noble Hierarch.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ever, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, this is really nice, and I like it a lot. And I think, Noble Hierarch is a big card in EDH. Again, Paper Magic not being played so much, so this will definitely be the chase card that people are going to want to put in their EDH decks, obviously in the foil variant. But the fact that this is going to be non-foil, that's going to also appeal to people that do want to play Tournament Magic, that are afraid that foils might get their deck DQ'd, because I know that that's something that people have talked about before. But this is a really, 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 really nice reprint.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. I was excited when we saw that one. Trash for Treasure's an uncommon.
Another card downshifted in rarity.
Yep, downshifted. It's an uncommon in this set. We got to sack an artifact, return target artifact from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's a cool card. I'm not super familiar with this card. I don't know if that's new art or not. It looks very interesting. I do like it. But this is the first day. This is the second day of previews, and it's the first day where we've seen that some shiftings of rarities is definitely a thing. Here's Bosch Iron
Trash
Golem.
for Treasure. Just saying, really quick before we talk about Bosch.
Yeah.
If you are playing limited 2XM, Trash for Treasure, Worm Coil Engine. If you open Worm Coil Engine, make sure you pull a Trash for Treasure at uncommon, because you're not going to be sad that you did it.
Oh no, hell no. Here's a mono red commander that's getting a reprint, so that more people have more access to it. That's kind of what I'm liking about this set. It may not be the purchase for everybody, but it is presenting a lot of different types of players with a lot of reprints that will overall drive the market down, which seems to me like a net positive for everybody. But I'm also not trying to argue with anybody who says this set is expensive. It definitely is.
I like Bosch.
Yeah,
I think I think this is a good card. And I like red because the thing, if you're playing red in EDH, you're probably playing a ton of mana rocks. You probably just want to go wide really quick with mana rocks, get Bosch on the field. Yeah, let's talk about Cyclonic Rift, something that a field full of mana rocks hates.
Oh yeah, Cyclonic Rift has needed a reprint. It is, it's always at the top of the list whenever anybody discusses what should or should not be banned in EDH that is or is not banned. I mean, it's a staple, right? It's Cyclonic Rift. It's synonymous.
It's really good reprint equity as well.
Right.
It's the kind of thing.
And then we also got this, which is just gorgeous.
Yeah, this is really cool. Again, we talk about pimp factor on this channel. In EDH,
baby.
You're always looking for your best in slot pimp factor. You know, for like some old cards, like the old Onslaught fetch lands, that might be the foiled Japanese Polluted Delta. But nowadays, we have all of these new variants coming out, and this might be that pimp factor that people are going to be looking for. So expect to pay.
Oh, it definitely will be.
Oh yeah, I mean we don't really need to speculate. But what's really cool about this, because we just saw Noble Hierarch, now we're seeing Cyclonic Rift. When we think back to sets like Kaladesh when they came out, all of the masterpieces, all of these variants, they all had a very specific theme. They were all in like invocations. They all had a set theme. The art here on this Cyclonic Rift is so different from the art that we just saw in that Noble Hierarch. It's just like night and day. The style is different.
Yeah,
so now
remember
we're seeing
this
variants.
When we go through this
place.
video, as you're watching this, I want you to remember this Cyclonic Rift art, because there's another card coming up at the end, and you'll be able to very distinctly see the differences in the art styles that Jake is talking about.
Yeah, like this is very like, it's almost got like a comic book. Like look at this. It's just like bright, bold colors and very different than, you know, kind of like the Expressionist. Or it wouldn't be Expressionist, but just like this beautiful, like, I don't know, kind of...
Yeah, high fantasy
different.
look. We get a lot of fantasy realism with MTG, but that one's way different. Here's a reprint of Arkham Dagson. I remember that some people talked about maybe this was going to be in M21, but it did not get a reprint. There was another character that came back, but Arkham Dagson is getting a reprint here. Jake, do you know much about this card?
Well, I just know that you can do a lot of shenanigans with it.
Yeah, I mean, it is printed at Mythic.
You can target yourself, and you can sacrifice stuff to go get other stuff. So whenever you do that kind of thing, you start doing silly things. So target artifacts controller sacrifices it. That could be something as lowly as, you know, I don't know, like a servo. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're searching for a non-creature artifact card, put it onto the battlefield. So you're searching for a Darksteel Forge.
Right.
You're searching, like, I mean, I don't really know what more we need to say about it.
Yep, exactly. Kragenwick Cremator. This was not a card I was familiar with. 2 red, 2 other for a 5/4 giant shaman, printed at rare. When it enters the battlefield, discard a card at random. If you discard a creature card, it deals damage equal to that card's power to target player or planeswalker. Seems good in limited. You know, it's random. If it's a creature card, you get something. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be
it's
some
the kind of thing.
It
looks like the kind of. It looks like limited bulk rare that hopefully, when it ETBs, you could discard something big and maybe get that final punch through to the opponent. I like that it comes with extra versatility.
Yeah.
I always like that in limited, but not seeing anything as far as like, oh, my wallet is excited about this.
No, not at all. Heat Shimmer. This card has been around, used in some combo stuff before. Create a token that's a copy of target creature, except it has haste, and at the beginning of the end step, exile it.
Again, this is one of those, oh man, I would be so sad to open this.
Right. If you went and bought a single pack and this was a rare in there, you're just like, could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been Noble Hierarch.
It scares me. But, you know, that's the thing about these sets, and you have to keep that in the back of your mind. If you're a new player, you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's talking about Double Masters. I just got into Magic, but that appears to be where I need to be, you know, putting all my money. I would just say keep it in the back of your mind that they're not going to blow their entire load on just these exact
and we
cards,
still don't know.
Like,
I mean, while we're making this point, which is a little off topic, but I think is important to note, we do know that they have said they will meaningfully reprint fetch lands this year. It's got to be Commander Legends at this point, I would assume, unless it's a product that we know nothing about. But that is
my
coming,
take is
and that'll be expensive.
Rising collector boosters.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be legal in standard, but you're going to be able to pull them at a crazy rarity out of collector boosters in Zendikar Rising. I don't know if that's meaningful. I do think that what you're saying, as far as being a commander product, it is going to be much more accessible, meaning if you buy that commander deck, you know you're getting a fetch land. I think that's going to work a lot better, and I think it fits a lot more in that product. But as far as the greed monster goes, I think it makes a lot of sense to make it like a chase Mythic alternate art showcase rarity. It's more Mythic than Mythic. It's purple. It's it's something legendary that we've never seen before.
So all of that to say, Heat Shimmer's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, rant over.
Brea Ethereum Shaper, fantastic card. Very classic Commander. This was one of the early printings of the Commander deck sets. This was one of the early cards. I don't think it was the first one, but it was in one of the early sets when those were happening. And people play it all the time. Look how diverse.
Dude,
I mean,
people
diverse
are going to be so
are.
stoked.
Yeah,
they are going to be so stoked because they're going to be able to get a copy that isn't bent.
Right.
That was the big thing about Brea, was that they all came out bent. Like, you couldn't play
I wasn't
Breas.
aware of that. Well, there you go.
So this is probably something where there's going to be a lot of people that are like, finally, I can put Brea into a deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Brea is a cool reprint. Thirst for Knowledge, classic draw a card spell. This is for the limited set. 1 blue, 2 other, draw 3, discard 2 unless you discard an artifact. In the Theros set this year, we had a similar card, but it had dealt with enchantments. And Thirst for Meaning, I believe, was the name of it. I might be wrong about that. But this is that kind of card. Obviously a limited card. Path to Exile reprint.
So Path is in it. Okay.
Yeah, we are going to continue driving the price of Path to Exile down. They know that it's, like the first card into any Commander deck that has white when you're looking at your removal package, and might as well just drive that price down, make it as accessible as possible.
Some EDH players don't even run basic lands. I mean, most of the time they run a couple. If you're playing against green, then sure, they're going to have basic lands, but some people don't run them, and so if you exile their creature, there's a lot of times where your opponent is going to fail to find, and so it's just like exile target creature and you get no upside. Go ahead and shuffle your library.
Even all that aside, instant speed, 1 mana, exile a creature. It's just I don't care what the downside is.
Brutal.
It's just such good mana return there. Skithiryx the Blight Dragon, classic infect commander creature. Every time
a cool reprint, man.
Yeah, it is a cool reprint. This card was Jake and I played heavy around New Phyrexia, Mirrodin Besieged times in college. That's what it was. Yeah, and Skithiryx was a big card that came out of that set. And it's cool to see the old Blight Dragon back. Get that price down. Get the infect creatures into the hands of the degenerates who want to play Commander Infect.
Yeah, that's right. Some people will run this card as an alternative win condition. I mean, if you get this suited up with a nice big equipment and it's able to get through, I mean, that's how you knock out opponents real quick.
Yeah, especially when it's got haste. Doomed Necromancer. Here's another one. Didn't we see a similar card to this yesterday's video? Doesn't matter.
Maybe.
We've seen Doomed Necromancer before. It's not an expensive card. It's it's a nice little bulk reprint. There's definitely cooler things, and it starts right here. Dark Confidant Skrillex Art Edition reprint.
Greatness at any cost. I love this card. I've always been a fan of Dark Confidant. It's played in Modern Jund. It's played in other decks, I'm sure, but it really shines in Modern. And it's cool that we're getting it. Again, we were talking about, Brad Pitt of Magic the Gathering. This is another name. This is another popular card. It helps sell sets. This is the kind of thing where when you see it, you're like, oh, that's in one of the Mythic slots? That's Dark Confidant. That's an amazing 2 cost. It's great. It's amazing card advantage and velocity. This card has a reputation. I'm not surprised to see it in this set.
Well, I mean, just everybody needs to prepare themselves. If you're a regular YouTube viewer, once this set is out in paper, you're going to get so many videos where this is the thumbnail and people are going to be like, I opened double Dark Confidant Noble Hierarch pack. Wow, Cyclonic Rift, full art. Wow. That's what this set is like enabling. I can already see it 100%. Now. Because there's also going to be, and prepare yourselves, this is weird. We've got a showcase Dark Confidant, but this is the art for it. Real quick before we give you our opinions, I want to know down in the comments what you think of Mark Z's take on Dark Confidant here for the showcase full art treatment of this card. Jake, kick us off.
Well, it's just I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the art, and I think it's just like something with like the style of the card. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just, it doesn't really work for me. I'm sure there's some people that just love it. I do get it. The balance is in the left third of the frame, but it's just, I don't know if it's the clothes that Dark Confidant is wearing or what it is, but I definitely prefer the Skrillex art and the OG art to this. However, I do not deny that there are going to be people that want this card and that are going to pay a premium for this showcase variant. Dark Confidant is a hard card to play in EDH.
Yeah.
It's because when you rip like a 6 cost or a 7 cost off the top of your library, like maybe in CEDH where like everything is super, super cheap, people are playing Dark Confidant, but it's not a card that I slot into my decks because the first time that I pull like, I don't know, like any enchantment that costs like 5 mana, I'm just like taking 5 life for that. It just doesn't really work in EDH for me, and so I don't know. I just prefer the other art variant.
Yeah, I think there are going to be some people that like this art. I think there are actually people that really like running it in EDH because they have ways to gain life, or they don't care about the life loss. They think they'll just get to their combo piece and win.
It is an excellent 2-cost card if you
of course.
Like if you want card velocity, if you're trying to dig through your deck. Yeah, and you don't care about life loss?
Yeah, I mean, Dark Confidant's classic. The art here, I don't know what it is. I don't really like it either. Personally, I don't know if it's that the balance is off for me or that, you know, the old man. I'm kind of interested in more of the story here, and all we really get as far as story that I can tell is he is a Dark Confidant. There's not a lot of story to this art that's telling any kind of painting any kind of picture. If I can be so bold, it just doesn't really tell a story to me for some reason. And I'm not saying that's always necessary. He's just whispering in the ear of this old man who looks kind of asleep at this point, so maybe maybe it is like the Dark Confidant is putting the king to sleep and he's actually ruling the roost. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. The art
I'm sure that there was some
very
sort
strange.
of art direction to this,
of course.
and the artist was given a prompt.
Yeah,
I would like to see, and just go with me here on a little fantasy trail. Like, just imagine, kind of like in like a bog out in the forest, like if they had gone like a druidic kind of like shamanistic approach to Dark Confidant, put it in like a setting that we've never seen Dark Confidant in. Maybe it's like some sort of, I don't know, just like tribal, like outdoors, like not in like the Senate area. I get that it's like kind of like an Orzhov kind of card, but I would like to see like a departure from like what it originally is, which is like a guy in a robe, in like a really nice building, a really nice, well taken care of building, and instead give me something like that's been like ripping the heads off of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. I still think you have to have the trope of the person behind the throne, it's the whisper behind the power.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to have something like that. If it was going to be more tribal or animalistic, I picture almost some like small, scrawny confidant that looks very, sure of themselves, standing on the head of a giant monster. That's
like a Master Blaster and a...
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, now we're talking, man. Like, that's what I want. I want like a, like in Total Recall when the shirt gets removed and you see whatever it was, Quado for the first time.
Yeah, somebody at the controls,
what I want.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I love that. So moving forward, if we ever go to Total Recall, I want Dark Confidant as Quado on someone's chest.
There you go. Somebody do the altar. We got down into the depths of that art direction and analysis, but we've got a new card here to look at, and that is Dark Depths.
Yes, so this is the first time ever this card has been printed. This is the only card in the set that isn't a reprint. Is that correct?
That's all. Yeah, brand new card here. They just came
brand
up
new
with
card,
it.
Everybody.
I think it says Marit Lagi. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Marit Lage.
Yes.
I think. No, this is a excellent card. It's a win condition in a lot of decks. People are like, They figure out ways to get rid of all the counters very
Right.
quickly, and then all of a sudden they have a 20/20 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. And what can you do about that? Not much.
Chump block it in the air with a bird. We also got Vampire. We got
That's right.
Vampire Hex Mage, classic, anti-planeswalker tech.
Yes, when this card came out, JTMS was a big deal. And
That's
a
Jace
lot
the
of
Mind
people
Sculptor,
were
for those of you
running
that don't
for
know.
Hexmage in the side just for Jace so that they could bring Hexmage out and just kill Planeswalkers. And that's what this card is known for. This card is known for killing Planeswalkers.
Yep.
All day, every day. And also it kills, anything that's suited up with a bunch of counters. Any kind of counters.
Yep, any kind of counters, which are even more relevant coming off of Ikoria. Thespian Stage, classic land, becomes any copy of a target land, except it still has the ability.
Another good card. A lot of people play this to great success, copying silly lands and doing silly things. And this is another one of those cards. It's a name, it's a popular land. It's going to help sell the set. Thespian Stage came out of a set that didn't have a lot of heat in it, and this was one of the big chase cards. So it's like when you have these sets that are standard sets, these modern sets, you normally get like 5 or 6 cards that are good in a given set, and then everything else is just kind of like falls to the wayside. So
yeah, it is a cool day. Let's close the book on day. That is going to do it for us for the day 2 chat. Man, we are a lot more excited, at least I am a lot more excited at this point than I was when we saw Grim Lavamancer and Champion of Lambhold come out of the gate, and I went, well, I don't have to pay attention. And now we're getting some heat.
Jace came out that day too. Jace came out that day as well. There are a lot of really cool cards in this set, but don't FOMO out too much. Remember that there are going to be 2 rares or mythics in every single pack. And there are going to be a lot of people opening this product. This is the product that people are stoked about. Will Secret Lair randomly come out of nowhere? I'm sure it will. I'm sure there will be a Secret Lair that pops up that we had no idea was out there. It's going to be like a Double Masters Secret Lair where you could get one special card from Double Masters and an ultimate art treatment. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe it's
but it's not going to be long before we hear another Secret Lair announcement. But what we want to hear right now is from you. Let us know which card you are very excited that has already been previewed and will be being reprinted. And look, down below, that's the place to call shots so that later you can go, I called it on Jake and Joel's video. Go down there and tell us what we're going to see for the rest of the week. I want one good call from everybody of what you think is going to be previewed in this set. Other than that, like we said, hit like, hit subscribe. We've got a special running over on our Patreon right now. Special first edition stickers to anyone who joins
I have these.
At every
I got
level.
Them today.
Oh,
Look,
sick. Jake has got his.
Look, I have one.
Yeah, so go get your first edition Jake and Joel Are Magic sticker. Sign up for our Patreon.
It'll never say edition 1 ever again after that.
Nope.
It'll say something else.
It is one of a kind.
Like 2. It might say 2.
Yeah, edition 2. Past that, it'll be different art though. Past that, Jake, I'm tapped out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it. We'll see you later.